The pinnacle of human perfection.
Welcome to Unbiased and On the Fence. I'm Shane. Thank you guys so much for joining. This is going to be fun. I've never had this many people here. This is like this huge party here. I want to ask everyone how they're doing. How are you, Kerry, since you're on the screen already?
Up, man. I don't even know if words can describe what's happening to me right now, but it's happening, and I knew it would happen from Sedona. I know it's happening, so I'm just letting it flow, man. It's just flowing. That's all, brother. Things are good. Thank you for having me on the show.
Not a problem. Allison, you're next on the screen there. How
Man, I'm pimptastic. I'm so good. Life is brilliant.
I got choked a little bit there.
Don't spit out your coffee if you're drinking it. Oh yeah, you don't drink coffee. No, life is delicious. I love it. I love it. And Sedona was so fun, and oh my gosh, I feel like it's activation city over here.
Yeah, now I felt like sort of this drag leaving there or whatever, but you know, I don't know if it was a long ass drive or if it was actually. Let me scoot this down here, or if it was just not having those energies I was used to.
Yeah.
And we have Dan from the K2D4 Network. How are you doing, Dan?
Yo, what's up, everybody? It's actually bad to be back home. I'll tell you what, it's a little colder in Wisconsin, but I do miss Sedona. I miss all the energy.
Yeah. Yes.
Oh, man.
Yes.
Awesome. And we can't forget about Lauren. How are you doing, Lauren?
I'm so good. How are you?
Doing wonderful. It's wow, what a trip. It's almost surreal thinking. It was surreal at the time, and then now it's really surreal thinking back on it. It's like, did that really happen? That was awesome,
For sure.
So, silence.
How are you, Shane?
Oh, well, I'm dealing, I'm finally catching up on my sleep and, dealing, I'm dealing the 5D energies. So yeah, definitely shoveling out the love all I can, and so yeah, that's what it's all about. All right, so let me square up a few things here. Sorry, guys.
What's the first question?
Yep.
The first question is, when are we going to do it again?
Oh my God,
hopefully
as
in
soon
another
as
year,
possible.
right?
Another year.
Yeah.
Fuck that. Oh, sorry.
Oh, no way.
I should have had Dan control me. He would have blurred out your mouth.
There's
and
no
beeped
way.
it. He's quick
No
about
way.
that.
Well, we talked about Gilliland's Ranch, but we want it to be nice and we go there, right?
Yeah.
Because that's Washington, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
East City.
Yeah, that's July then. Because it's on a mountain in Washington, so it's not like in a valley where it gets nicer. It's like, it's cold.
Mount Adams.
Yeah, Mount Adams.
So it doesn't matter about seeing UFOs or anything? It doesn't need to be any certain time of the year or anything?
No, I don't think so. I think it matters if you want to have sweater weather or if you want to have mosquito weather.
Oh,
Your
yeah.
choice.
Oh.
But
Well, we're pretty much
Lauren,
UFO regardless, so
yeah,
that's the part about it.
Lauren had an interesting thing come through about meeting up. You want to tell him, Lauren? I'm going to put you on the spot.
This is
Okay.
recent?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I had a thing that we should all try to get together for New Year's somewhere.
New Year's. That would be nice.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's see. Who lives in the warmest place?
Yeah.
We were thinking maybe Austin would be fun.
Yeah, we were thinking Texas.
Ah, that's a lot closer. And I have viewers. I have viewers down in Austin, and it doesn't get too cold down there. So
Sweet.
Yeah, I just really missed you guys, man. I don't want to wait a year.
yeah, And I like to get it to where
I tell you.
After you, Dan. Sorry.
I tell you what, after leaving that conference, like on the plane ride back, I just felt like I left my family, like, and we only known each other for that weekend. It was terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I was just talking to Allison before we got on, and like being with you guys was the first time in my life that I felt like I was home. Yeah. And I really want to recreate that as often and quickly as possible.
And if anybody knows me, anytime I go on a trip, you know, whether it be just a couple of days or whatever, I am so excited to be back home, be back on my computer, all that stuff. This was different. I was like, I don't want to be here. You know, the whole time it felt like it's hard to explain. It's like it was opposite, and it's never been that way for me.
That's
Totally.
big.
I'm starting to get the chills. Starting to get chills now, man. Come.
That's awesome. So yeah, let's do it.
Powerful.
So you can.
What are y'all's plans for New Year?
I guess Austin, Texas, it is.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't drink anymore, so I don't have plans on New Year's.
Yeah, like that's the thing is that, it's you know, we don't have to drink or whatever. Just being together. Let's start a new year as having our soul family back together again, and it's gonna be new everything from now on.
Awesome.
Hey, there's Teresa.
Teresa, how are you?
Can we hear her?
Oh.
We can see her.
Oh, T-Pain.
Hey.
Look at that.
There.
Is that better?
Yes.
You have no idea.
Yes, other than me messing with the microphone at the moment.
T-Pain in the house.
All right.
How are you,
Back in
Teresa?
business.
We
I'm
are
good.
live,
How are you
by
guys?
the way.
Awesome.
We
Hey, everybody.
Hello. Hello.
So
Hello.
yeah, we had some technical difficulties, but now
Yes.
I'm glad we worked them out. It's awesome. So, got
Can
a
you
full house.
turn your camera away from that window?
I love that, Dan. You're the tech guy, man.
Is that better?
Yeah, much better.
There we go.
Okay.
Yeah, we thought you were hiding your identity at first. Like, Teresa's doing us.
Totally washed out. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So that's awesome. So, all right. So you want to go down the list, I guess, and we can see what everybody thought just overall of the whole thing and give everybody an opportunity to speak whatever their favorite high point was maybe of the trip.
I say we put an introvert on the spot. Let's go, Dan.
Holy cow, that is right on the spot. What's the question?
What was the highlight? I mean, like, you know, let's just say 10 years from now, you know, as far as the whole get-together aspect of it, what will you take away from the whole thing?
I think the biggest thing was, it wasn't so much the conference. The conference, and I know we said this a lot already, the conference was a good excuse to get us there.
Mm-hmm.
But for us to come together and just feel each other's presence, and it felt like family, and it felt like we've known each other for so long. It was such an unbelievable experience. Like, if you know me, I'm so introverted that I'll put a little barrier up, and I won't, you know, reveal any cards or whatever. But it just felt like we've known each other, and I let my guard down and all that. And on the ride up with Teresa and Heather and Lauren, it was the most genuine conversation. Like, we could just talk, let the conversation flow. I didn't have to hold anything back, and it was just unbelievable. Like, I can't do that with people I work with.
Totally.
That's awesome.
Sounds
Lauren?
like flow.
Huh?
Your turn, Lauren. I'm working out technical difficulties here with my
Come on,
camera.
iron up, Dave.
Okay. Well, what Dan said. No, I'm kidding. Yeah, so for me, and I mentioned this to Dan already, but for me, what it feels like is that what Sedona was like a pinnacle point, and I think I said this to Allison too, but what it showed me is that we can have that all the time. Like, we had 4 days of high vibe with our soul tribe, doing fun things together, And there's absolutely no reason why that can't be our lives all the time. So for me, what Sedona was Source proving to me, giving me that taste of what is to come and the next level and what's in store for all of us. And so we can like latch onto that, you know, and like we can let that carry us to the next level. So that's really what Sedona represents for me. And I don't want to be spread out anymore. I don't think we need to be. I think that we can spend a lot more time together as a soul family. We should.
I'm kind of wondering if isn't like this part of the that we went to Sedona. I actually feel more high energy. It almost feels like a different dimension right now.
Mm-hmm.
That we were taking that frequency and now we have to anchor it back to where around our spots.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's
For
a good
sure.
point.
Yeah.
Like we made our connection stronger, and now we've kind of gone back, and because of the meetup, we're stronger. We're better connected to one another, which we all have different sections of the whole tribe in a whole that we're connected to, and as a result, our connection with everyone else is better. Maybe.
I know, talking with Lauren several times, we both seem to be using this term a lot lately, and that is leveled up. It's like playing a video game and we get to the next level. It seems like that's what we've done with this whole Sedona trip in weird ways, for in each of our different way and each in a different connection. It's like we're leveling up. We're able to hold more energy, or we got activated. We're able to be stronger, to be a stronger presence in our own environment. But we also, I think, are clued in to what Lauren said as well. I just feel that so strongly. We need to see each other more often. You know, people are in this realm. We need to see each other more often because it validates what we're going through. It strengthens where we're at, and it points us in the right direction where we need to be. And we can't benefit others without having that. So I think it's really powerful to keep meeting up like this, and keep growing the circle of buddies and friends.
Yeah, definitely. Teresa, what is your what are you going to take away from this whole thing?
I mean, I would agree with all three of them. I think it was a lot of that same feeling that I think it was really good for everyone to really just come together and know that we aren't alone anymore, you know, and that we don't have to feel that way, and that it really was like a leveling up in a lot of ways to give us that validation that, like, yes, what we are doing is important, and that we have people out there that agree and, you know, and that feel the same way as us. And that moving forward, it seemed like it was a huge validation for all of us to just feel confident in doing so. And I think that was the biggest takeaway for me too, was just that confidence in knowing that soul tribe is out there, and we're all doing our own piece elsewhere, but really coming together is what solidified it for all of us, and that we shouldn't, you know, stay so far apart. You know, I think we can accomplish more when we feel validated in that way, and just comfortable around the people that we feel comfortable around.
Yeah, I think that's a good point. I felt like it was a reward because, you know, here I am in my office for so many hours a day making connections with people, and sometimes I wonder, are these people even real? So it was really nice to get out and actually see other people.
Yeah. Feel and touch them.
Yeah, actually hug them and say, okay, you're really there.
And, you know, that's such a good point, Shane, because not only did we discover that each other is real, but we're like more than real, right?
Oh,
like,
yeah.
there was no conflict, there was no struggle, there was no weirdness or anything. It was just so smooth, as if all of us have known each other for so many lifetimes, because we have. And just like Teresa said, we need reminders of that, you know.
Totally.
To be able to connect and then bring that back into our daily lives. I think we've all stayed apart for way too long.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I was thinking that a get together in just maybe different areas of the country, maybe quarterly or something.
For sure.
That way, if we can't make every single one of them, you know, some of us will make every one of them if we can, you know, have enough advance notice. But some people that aren't able to travel very far or afford a ticket across the country, and maybe they can drive a state or two over, You know, that would, I think, increase the amount
or
of
I'll
people.
come pick you up.
Carrie's all about it.
Now, that's an interesting point, because I thought, man, how cool would it be to get like a touring bus going around?
Yeah.
And, you know, I mean, it sounds like a lot of work. It's like you're in a band or something, but, you know, me and Kerry have guitars. We can pretend, you know.
Yeah.
Our consciousness tour.
Yeah, the consciousness tour.
Hey, and Dan plays drums. Like,
I like
we
that.
have half a band here already.
I would have to downsize my drums. Like,
Yeah, get you some bongos or something. Meditation bowls and bongos, man. That's your new thing now.
Oh my god, that's funny. You got your singing bowl, right?
Right.
That singing bowl, Shane.
Yeah, I'll let them use it.
That's awesome.
Yeah, we need to get them where they'll nest inside of each other, and we can, you know, we'll think about room taking up space and all that. I've got a decal machine, so we can put like the light workers down the side of the big bus or whatever it is. Could be a lot of fun. But yeah, I know a lot of people would love to be a part of a meetup group of some sort, you know.
So one of us just has to hit the lottery now.
Exactly. Yeah, one of us hits the lottery, we can get 2 or 3 touring buses, right?
You bring up a good there's dying of J shit. You bring up a good point, because that brings me to my core fundamental idea is, if we can get rid of that monetary system, think about how much different direction your life will take.
Yeah, true.
It's amazing what would happen.
That's a good point, man, because also one of the technologies that might come out is teleportation. So what if there's just, we can take a pod to another city like an elevator, as simple as getting on, punching in some cords, and bam, you're in another city, another get-together. I mean, there would be no problem. Then we can just do one in a really nice location, and everybody can find their own pod and show up, you know?
Yeah.
The funny thing about this, too, it feels like we're on the cusp of it. Like, I feel like I've shifted internally now, and now we just got to wait for the outside to shift.
Work on those manifestation powers.
Totally.
Manifesting seems so much smoother now. Just little things, even. Does it to you guys?
Yeah, and that's that leveling up. It's like the next level stuff, you know. It's like it's almost instant. It makes you have to actually stretch yourself a little bit to start thinking. So start removing those things, Shane, like you just did. You had an idea, and then you almost like removed it because you're like, oh well, that would be expensive or whatever. So it's like stopping yourself in your tracks from doing that. That's the next level type of stuff. I just expect it to happen now. Just expect that it's going to happen.
Yeah, and we even talked about that when we were out of the vortex or whatever, how we just have this natural response to put limitations of how something must happen, or, you know, instead of saying that, you know, just letting it happen however it's going to happen, sometimes we say, well, it's only going to happen if I can get this job, or if I can do this or that, and then we're really limiting how things can manifest instead of just trusting our higher self to make it happen. I mean, just like me getting to go on this trip to begin with, you know, it just, it was awesome the way so many people came together, and I never would have thought it would happen that way, but I ended up there, and I was even in doubt. You know, I had car problems, and they all worked out, and at the end I'm like, I guess I'm going. Wow, this is fun. You know, so it like freaked me out even, you know.
Miracles do happen. You just gotta let them. You gotta let them show up.
You gotta let them show up. Yeah, that's huge. So, Kerry, what do you think about what was just said?
It's a little quiet.
No. Hey, no. What's great is about No, you know, as the, you know, I guess you call me the extrovert or whatever, but I was actually more into because I see more of myself in everything ever since this trip. Like, I can feel one with so much more than I ever experienced. And so when I'm listening to you guys, I'm just imagining it through your view, and it's just like a oneness that I feel, and it's just such a beautiful thing. So the whole trip, man, it was just remarkable, especially how it all came together. Once it was manifested and it was like put out there, just you immediately knew you had to go. For some reason, I had the strong feeling that I knew something big, huge. I mean, I would absolutely know that it was next level. I guess that's what we're using, the next level feeling. and it happened, and it just has blown my mind since. And I've been living in that. And since I've been back, I've purged like beliefs that I believed in for 33 years. Oh man, I'm just nonstop in love with music right now. It feels like I can start writing my own song. It's just, everything's just so damn beautiful right now. So I'm going to start tearing up, but it's good. But yeah, Sedona, how about it? What a place. What a place.
Yeah, that's one thing I haven't talked about, is that I've been feeling the urge to get more back into my music and stuff. And since, being out at the Vortex and you playing the guitar, it just, I don't know, it just kind of reignited that urge to be more involved with music than I have been. Yeah. That's why I got the singing bowl and stuff. I was like, I've always wanted one. I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to go do it. I'm going to go get one right now.
There you go. There you go. Attaboy.
Yeah.
So it's a new chapter. Good. It's just a brass bowl, but for me,
it means so much.
It really does. It's like I always wanted one. I have it, and I feel at home, feeling it vibrate in my hand while I'm, it's awesome.
So night one, did anybody, like, when you went to bed, did you feel the vibrations?
There, or when we got back?
In Sedona.
Oh gosh.
Oh man, I slept in my truck for 3 nights, so I don't really know.
I couldn't sleep at all.
Good. I slept so good. I mean, I slept like 8 hours. I'd sleep good in my truck. That was weird, and I never do that. So
no, we got there that first night, you and I, and I guess I fell asleep around 2:30 after we got done chatting, and I was back up at like 4:30, 5. And I was like, oh my God, the sun's about to come up. I was so excited I couldn't go back to bed. And then every night after that, I stayed in Flagstaff. So I don't know, I don't know if the energies are as good there. But that first night in Sedona.
I'm a sleeper. I fall asleep quickly. I sleep for a long period of time. I think that's common amongst empaths. I need my sleep. And I barely slept at all. And I barely ate at all, too. It was crazy. I wasn't hungry.
What about you,
really
Teresa?
Tired, but
it was the same. Yeah, I had a really hard time sleeping, and I'm the same way as Lauren. Like, I sleep all the time and for long periods of time. But while we were there, it was just, I would try to go to sleep, and it was just the brain kept going and the energy was flowing, and it made it really hard. But I still felt refreshed when I woke up. And then it was the same way with not being able to really eat. Like, I wasn't hungry at all. It was just the energy was so high. But I don't know if I'd be able to live there if it was going to be like that all the time. Yeah. It's just too much.
That's so funny. I've been actually entertaining the thought of moving there. I was like, you know what? We could move there or something. Open up a new chapter of our life.
I think after like a year, it would be like no trees and no water would just get to me.
I don't know. There's plants and cactus.
The thing is, I think the point is not the geographical location.
Yeah.
It's the energy that the combined effect of all of these people, and not even half of them are on screen. Not even half of them who are there who are affecting us. And it's that combination. It's not the location. It's the excitement that we're all going to be together. And that we're all going to mesh and meet and hang out. And it's like, I couldn't hang out with you guys as much as I wanted to, but it was so beautiful. Anytime I got to see one of your smiling faces and laugh in your face and talk with you, it was just so wonderful. And that excitement, you take everywhere. You can take it everywhere, wherever we're going to meet.
Yeah. And I think one of the things, I don't know if you guys experienced this, but for me, it was expectations. It was like, how I imagined things happening. And, my wife was like, what do you mean? Was it better or worse? I'm like, no, it's not like it was better or worse. It was just completely different than I imagined. Like, I thought I'd have time to interview everybody. But like, it was either we were in the conference or we were hiking or meditating at a vortex, or, the conference had just let out and there's tons of people talking. I'm like, when is there ever a good time to interview? The few that I got were actually during the conference while everyone was in there, and I snuck away and did it outside while the conference was going on, keeping the people busy from making all the noise. But yeah, it was nothing was anything like I thought it would be, and it was still great. But I brought a lot of equipment I didn't need because I thought things were going to play out differently. I thought I'd be able to connect and live stream from there, and and I think that dream I was telling you about, Allison, about drowning, or not drowning, but driving into like deep waters in the SUV, and my equipment. I didn't even tell you the equipment part, but I was like, I had to leave all my equipment in the car and get out to save myself. And I think it was like telling me, hey, don't drown in all of this equipment because you're not going to need it. Just,
oh yeah,
you know, looking back on it, it makes sense. But, you know, that's
I'd say the best way about Sedona, it was the perfect reflection to me of what I've been feeling and knowing the whole time.
Validation,
everything
baby.
From the conference. Yeah, validation. It was it. I mean, man, woo. It was it. It was it.
So yeah, so you guys feel like you're dragging?
Oh, I want to just mention too, like, so you were talking about interviews. Like, I was getting a strong message just to be an observer and just take all this in and not worry so much about the interviews. Sit back and just, you know, take it all in, and that's what I did. So
yeah, that's a good idea.
That makes really good sense for someone like you, Dan, to actually be told not to distract yourself, because it was really important for you to actually immerse yourself in this world and not just hold yourself back and distract yourself from it, but actually feel the energies. And that changes someone like you. That's huge. I'm glad you got that, you know, message.
Yeah, I kind of felt the same way too. Like, not to, you know, ruin the whole thing by trying to collect it all on video, to take it back with me and then not really get to really enjoy it, you know, because you can do too much to where you're not even really there, you're in the camera or whatever, and you don't get to enjoy it. And I think, you know, it was so funny, I got lost Sunday morning because I was wanting to go hiking and stuff with Lauren and you guys or whatever, and I was uploading a video on my phone in the hotel, and my Wi-Fi on my phone, my hotspot was actually quicker than the motel free Wi-Fi. So I left my phone there. I'm like, you know what? I'll just find a place right around here to get something to eat. And I've never I don't really leave without my phone and stuff. So I got lost in Flagstaff, and I pull up to this Motel 6, and I'm like, this isn't my Motel 6. It was 3 stories tall. I ended up at the wrong Motel 6. I am so glad I have my other phone that doesn't have service on it. I just use it because it's got a better camera on it or whatever. Luckily, I had that with me to take pictures if I needed. I was able to pull into this McDonald's, hop on the Wi-Fi, and get directions back to my actual motel or whatever. And I was like, oh my gosh, dude. We depend so much on our devices nowadays.
Yeah, we do now.
Oh, that's hilarious. Where'd the 3rd story go?
Right. It's like I end up in motel. I'm like, oh, thank God. I'm like, wait a minute. I had a story above me, and this doesn't happen. Oh my gosh.
Oh, so funny.
So funny.
Hey, are y'all getting really bad ringing in the ears since you've been back?
No.
Yeah.
I would say no different than normal.
No different.
Man, it's weird. It rings all day now on my right side, and then when I acknowledge it, it just goes up higher, and I'm like, oh shit, I can't hear anything. So then I just I don't know, turn the music up, I guess. So I didn't know if you guys were experiencing that.
I've been getting the ringing, but it's the meditation bowl I just got, I think.
But Kerry, you and I had major purges in Sedona, and I'm not sure anybody else did.
Yeah, you want to talk about that?
Maybe.
I think Kerry can mention
No.
Well, I'll start it off.
Well, Kerry kind of talked about it. You kind of talked about it on your phone call and on the Friday night live stream or whatever. So you can kind of talk about it, and everybody can share whatever they want. It's it's purging.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it was just the being out in the vortex is Allison can contest to it, and so can you. Well, no, you weren't there, but I threw up. I almost felt like I had to throw up the first night, but the second night, man, I chugged I don't know, for 5 minutes, and I had to come back out of the hotel, and it messed with me for a while. But then when I got back home, man, it's just making you dive into all kinds of stuff. So I didn't think it still existed. I thought I was cleared from all that, but the more I digest into it and I dive into it and just experience what this pain or this sadness or whatever it is, it's just breaking beliefs and old paradigms. You're just letting go of the programming, and you're just becoming more one with who you truly are. So it's a real beautiful thing. So that's what I've been going through.
Nice. Now, do you normally get ear ringing while we're on the subject?
No, like maybe like at nighttime or early in the mornings I would. Sometimes during the day, if I seen a synchronicity or something like that, I'll get it ringing. But this is like after the purge. Like I purged like a day before yesterday, and I mean I was like hands and knees crying because I was letting go of something I've held on to for 33 years now, and it was just such an amazing feeling. It was such a washover, and then right after that, the ringing hasn't stopped. And then from what's weird is on my YouTube feed, I was just watching it this morning, and it was released yesterday or something like that of understanding the ringing of the ears, and they explain that your vibration and your frequency is going up so high that this is like you're starting to match that ringing, and then you'll just keep up getting higher and higher. So you're just constantly matching the tone and the frequency that you're resonating at. So and it's just a beautiful sound. It's just, if you were to hear, if it was raining, you wouldn't want to not hear the rain fall on the ground. You know what I mean? So it's almost like, you're just allowing it to happen, and it's a beautiful moment. Something's happening. It's something big, like big time. Like you just keep feeling this huge thing happening that maybe you don't see yet, but sure enough, you feel it. So
I love it, and I love that energy. I can feel it off of you, Kerry. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Next purger.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. I'll tell my story. Okay. Dan and Teresa were both witnesses to this, so you guys feel free to chime in anytime that you would like to. Okay, so.
And I witnessed Kerry's too, so I can vouch for that.
Oh, you did.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow. Oh, that's cool, Dan. That you saw.
That was the first night that you saw it.
I both needed you.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So when we were hiking up Cathedral Rock, I guess we were about halfway up, maybe not even halfway up.
Quarter.
And, oh yeah. So let me. Yeah.
Didn't make it quite as far
I say
as you
half.
thought,
I
huh?
say half. I think it was about half.
Dan, thanks for your patience, Dan. Okay, so let me I'm doing the INFJ, not telling it in linear again, so let me back up for a second. The night before, when we were doing the sky watch, I didn't want to like say it, but I was in a whole lot of pain, lady pain, and it was definitely way more than usual. The kind that you might feel when you're actually having a miscarriage. Like, it was bad. So I was like, whoa.
So to be clear, Lauren, are you in your cycle at this moment?
Yeah, I was. But it was reset several, like 6 months ago, and I don't really have pain like that anymore. So this was very unusual for me to have pain like that. That I was like, oh, this really hurts. So that was going on the night before, and it just kind of kept on, and I was still feeling kind of bad and weak that morning when we went hiking. And so yeah, we got, but it was in preparation. It was in preparation for this purging, for this cleansing. So for people watching who don't know, Cathedral Rock is the divine feminine vortex. And then Bell Rock is the divine masculine. So yeah, we were about a quarter of the way up, and I started feeling those energies, and because I kind of started getting the sense that the pain was related to whatever energies I was going to encounter on Cathedral Rock. So I just, for lack of better vocabulary, I just started feeling like I needed to cry, and I tried to suppress it, and I was like, not right now, you guys. Like, this is not a convenient time to do this, and but the more I guess there was just like this one spot, I think, because our friend Heather too felt it really strongly there, and you did too, Teresa, right? In that one place. So
yeah,
the closer we got to that one part of the trail going up, I just couldn't do anything but sit there and cry. Like, the guys were like, what the hell is happening? And I was like bent over, heaving and crying and sobbing. And I was like, it's okay, guys, you just go ahead. I'll catch up with you. But all I could do was like, and then I was gonna keep trying to hike while I was crying. Well, they didn't let me do that. They just sat me on my ass like I could not move. And Heather and Teresa sat on either side of me, and Dan and Peter went ahead and went up, and I just sat there and sobbed and sobbed and sobbed and wiped my boogers all over Heather's extra shirt.
There's for sure.
Yeah, and just like, I had cold chills all over my body, like head to toe goosebumps. And that even lasted, even when we went to the other rock, to Bell Rock, like I still had these chill bumps all over my body. And so it was like a major release, and the cramps went away. I didn't have any more pain after that. You know, everything was back to normal. We also, you know, and I just want to mention that we really had, okay, so this is the first thing I realized with that, is that Heather and Teresa were my clients, and so is Dan. Dan was a client, technically, and Frank and Peter, the other two gentlemen that were with us, I had done light code alignments for, and had become friends with them. And so we were 3 men and 3 women, and I realized that all of them were there to hold space for me and to anchor that energy for me, for my peace, as I had held space and anchored that for them during their sessions. So that was the first thing that I realized. So thank you guys so much, like, from my heart. Hi, Christian. Any close?
Not a problem.
Absolutely.
That's what we're there for.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's my boss's son. He's curious what's happening. Okay. And then the second thing that I realized is that we were 3 men and 3 women, and how important and vital the divine masculine was to this trip. Because a lot of times events like this is like a whole lot of women, and sometimes I love women, but sometimes that can be like exhausting because of all the chat stuff. You know what I'm saying, Teresa? She's like, I feel you. You know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But there was like an equal measure of like everything that we did and everywhere that we went, there was the divine masculine and the sacred feminine balanced, which I felt was an extremely important aspect of this trip, and I'm sure was healing for all of us. So that is my purging story at Cathedral Rock. So ladies, if you're gonna go, make sure you're ready for some serious shiz happening there.
So Teresa, was this kind of going on with you too there?
No, not as intensely, but that was actually a big healing that Lauren had done for me. What was related to that for me and my sacred, sexual and feminine energy. So I really do believe that I was there for Lauren for this particular event to happen and for her healing. So it was good to give back to her for that. So I was getting some energy and stuff, but no, it wasn't nearly as intense as it was for Lauren. So
thanks, girl.
Yeah.
You can stall all you want, Dan, but it's your turn now, buddy.
Yeah.
But you boys didn't seem to get anything at the Bell Rock either.
No, not at all.
Anything significant? Yeah.
I was just a little tired once we got to the top.
Yeah, we gave up on that.
That was a view up there. That was nice.
I'll check out your footage.
Yeah.
But it was beautiful footage from the top there too. So, and I didn't have to hike, so I'm glad I got lost in Flagstaff. I would have been down totally hanging out with the girls. I'm not even gonna lie. I would have like, I think I'm just gonna stay back with them. Man, I've smoked too many years and stuff to make it to the top. So.
The energy at Bell Rock was still. Oh, you can come in, Joe. It's fine. See, I'm putting my.
Is that you yawning, Kerry? You bored over there, buddy?
Yeah. No, man.
The energy
like 5:36
at Bell Rock was still really strong, and Heather and I couldn't take it anymore. I wasn't trying to get near another vortex because I feel like barely made it through Cathedral Rock. Like, I was so weak when I got to the top of Cathedral Rock. I wasn't really sure I was going to be able to get down, or like it was going to take me a long time. So yeah, we girls kind of sat Bell Rock out, but it was really nice to just kind of take in the sun and the views and everything there.
Yeah, for me, I don't know if I felt any more energy at the Vortex places than anywhere else. I mean, the whole place seemed like it was exciting, but I don't know. I can't say that wasn't just the way it looked and everything. I did have a few moments where tears came to my eyes because of the beauty, but it didn't feel like a purge. I mean, I deal with that. You know, I can look at a little baby and feel that same way and stuff. Anywhere, so I don't feel like it was anything out of the norm. I'm just like a softie when it comes to beauty and stuff like that. But I mean, even when we went to that Boynton Canyon Vortex, Allison, I mean, you seem like you're in a really deep meditation. Was it because of the energies, or do you normally just meditate deeply like that?
Man, I meditate deep. Stop, drop, and meditate, and I go down.
She got serious, man. She flipped her hoodie over and she was like,
that's because it was raining. I'm sorry, that's just
I remember Shane, you were already done, and I remember getting out of mine. And I was like, man, she's in it deep, man. So I'm just gonna pull out the guitar, and I bet she doesn't even hear it. So, I was so deep, we got left behind. Yeah.
We were like, our buddies were
talk
like,
about that a little bit. Yeah.
They were doing some sacred meditation a little far, like, I don't know, 10, 15, 20 feet away from us. And they were all shh.
Yeah, because we're being like little kids giggling and stuff or whatever.
Yeah, we were like having the time of our lives, laughing, joking, teasing each other. And then we were like, well, maybe we should like meditate and help them and support them. Well, apparently us doing that like was so deep and so quiet that they thought we left. So they when they came out of theirs, they took off. And then I hear like either Kerry or Shane go, did they leave us? And this is like, it's pitch black, man. It is pitch goddamn black. And then next thing I hear all these like horns honking and like screaming. And I'm like, this place is loud as fuck. Like, why is it so loud? Well, I didn't realize it was them searching for us. Like, you guys, where are you? Because they got back to the cars and we weren't there. And so they were like, where are they? And we're like, we literally are 15 feet from where you guys were, right where you left us. Come on. They were freaked out. It was hilarious.
What they say, they were screaming for Allison. And, and they're like, where are you? Where are you? We're like, we're in the same spot.
We're in the same spot, you idiots. No, but they're funny. It was just a miscommunication, and that's a testament to how deep they were, in their meditation. They were like, we thought you guys left. Well, they didn't realize they were on the way to the path. We would have had to cross them anyway. It was just it was hilarious. It was so fun to play with Kerry and to play with Shane and laugh and stuff in that little creek bed, and to be scolded like we were being too loud, and then to take advantage of it and be spiritual. That's the crux of my life, just that in itself.
Yeah.
Right, and there was
then getting down to business.
There was the early guy. I'm done meditating. I'm like, well, I don't want to disturb them, but I think they're leaving, and it's raining. I don't have a flashlight. I'm gonna have to just stick with them, and hopefully they have one.
So I love that stuff. That makes for the best stories too. When you get in trouble.
Kerry, you brought up an interesting point about this. You said you maybe were meditating so deep that you went into a different dimension.
Right. That was interesting.
Yeah. Are you talking like when I said, man, maybe we're so far into meditation we cloaked ourselves?
Yeah.
Is that what you're talking?
God,
yeah.
No, well, it was dark, so we were cloaked by darkness.
Hey. Yeah.
And I saw them scurrying with their flashlights away. So.
Jane, you were supposed to be meditating.
I did. I'm just a quick meditator. I don't want to fall asleep. I go deep, man.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Oh, that was so much fun. So the people we're talking about are Mitch and Cole, and you know, anybody on your show will probably eventually be introduced to them. But those are the two guys that left us, and they would never in a million years leave us. That's not their style. They just that's how far gone they were.
I actually have a Mitch in the chat. I'm not sure if it's the same Mitch. And Cole, I just emailed him because I like to get him on because I noticed he was on another YouTube channel that you also were on called Joyride, the Metaphysical
Joyride.
Moms.
Yeah.
And I got to meet Tiffany and Kerry are their names. I got to meet them while I was there at the conference. And
Oh, hey, guess what?
What?
You guys remember remember Okanim? At the Skywatch? He did the light language.
Yeah, yeah.
And he's the one that basically showed us to that area that the Skywatch at. He's gonna be on the Joyride show, I think, next week.
Oh, nice.
Oh, fun.
I was thinking it was Peter the whole time.
No, Peter is my friend, and Okanim was his friend that he was staying with in Sedona.
Oh, okay.
And so the two of them are really, we need to give them a shout out because the Skywatch happened in large part because they told us where to go. And then Kerry helped me get everybody mobilized, so thank you, Kerry. So,
Yeah, no problem.
To everybody who made that happen.
That was beautiful.
That was beautiful because, you know, I go places all the time and nobody knows who the heck I am, but I go to this enlightened conference with all these awake people and all of a sudden people know me and I'm like, it made me feel good. I'm like, oh, wow, people actually know me.
Yeah.
So I had probably, I don't know, every person that said they knew me from the channel. I'm like, hey, well, you want to go and meditate with us afterwards? And, you know,
that's so cool.
Yeah, so there ended up being, about 20 people out there.
I
kept sending everybody to Lauren. I'm like, Lauren's organizing the whole thing. Don't tell her I sent you, but just get with her.
And I didn't know what the hell I was doing either.
I knew you'd figure it out, though, because you just had that planner thing about you, so I knew. You were in good hands. I knew they didn't want to listen to me.
That's that Scorpio style.
Yeah.
Oh no, not me. Dan's the Scorpio.
Yeah.
What are you, Lauren?
Yeah.
Are you Sagittarius?
A Libra. My birthday is this weekend.
Libra.
Oh, happy birthday!
Happy birthday! Can we sing happy birthday to you?
Happy birthday.
Don't sing happy birthday.
Actually, when you sing happy birthday on a stream like this, the little bit of a delay turns it into an absolute train wreck, and that's just with 2 people. I have no idea what it would be like with 6 people.
Good.
I'm singing it in my head. I just want you to know.
Yeah, me too.
Okay.
In perfect sync.
I appreciate it.
Yay! Oh my God, that's so cool.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, what's your what's everyone's sign here? I'm Aries, by the way.
Ah.
See, I have no idea about that.
I'm Libra sun with Aquarius moon.
Ooh, you're one of those, huh? No, I'm just kidding. No, I mean, I meant that you were one of those people that really knew a deeper understanding than more than just your sign. You know what I mean? I don't.
Well, I can also tell you, I can tell you all about Dan's chart because I've studied it quite a bit too.
Well, the Scorpio and the INFJ together is like devastating.
Yeah. Yeah, it would be. Ooh.
And I'm not going to say what I am because it always makes mine sound like I'm an asshole. So I just keep telling myself.
Kerry.
Not amongst us.
Yeah.
Come on.
We all know your birthday.
No.
Gemini?
Yeah, I know you. No, it's not Gemini.
I don't know.
Come on.
I'm a Gemini.
It's April 24th, so I'm a Tourist.
Yeah, but you're Gemini moon, Kerry. That's where the extrovert comes in. Gemini, lunar Gemini.
I like that you said it like.
But every time. Yeah.
Don't all talk at once.
I was just gonna say, I like how Kerry said it, and he's all, "I'm a tourist," as if he's like a tourist. I'm a tourist. It's a tourist. I love that, man.
Don't you love that? I'm sorry.
Teresa is a Gemini.
Yeah.
Kerry's a Taurus. Dan's Scorpio. Lauren's Libra. Shane is Aries. I'm a Virgo. Yeah.
We're a mixed bag. You guys.
That about covers the board, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah. We just need 5 more. We got it.
Yeah, but we got all the elements in there. We got the air, the earth, the water, the fire.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thinking. The what? Beef up on your horoscope stuff, man. Astrology.
Well, you know, that's the thing. As some Lauren's helping me understand astrology pretty well, but I never take those tests. I never do that ENFP or INFJ testing stuff. I never do any of that because
Totally
it's like after you get the answer, or you see what your astrology is. It's like, man, like read my horoscope or my astrology. It's like, do they really make me out to be a bad? Like he's just. If he doesn't get what he wants, he's going to pitch a fit. And if he does, he's happy. And so I'm like, man, I just feel way more than just that. But I don't know. Maybe there is something to it. I'm just opening myself up to new stuff.
Yeah, it's definitely not an exact science or anything. So it's just for fun. It's just to
and there's a
understand
huge
yourself a little bit better.
There's a huge difference between predictive astrology and intuitive astrology. So yeah.
Preach it, girl.
Yeah.
I like that. I like that.
Oh man.
Okay, I was just looking. It looks like we got Scorpio, Pisces, Leo. I think we got everybody here. Capricorn.
In the chat room too.
Yeah. And somebody said that Aries, that's a load of bull. That would be me, wouldn't it? No, I did the INFP, I think mine was.
INFP.
-A. So it called me the mediator. I'm like, that's totally me. Like the Allison on the fence guy.
God, that's so you.
That's crazy.
And I think my role was diplomat, and my mastery was people. And I was like, well, all right.
That's so
Since
you.
when I was in the army, but
Yeah.
No, you're still like that, Kerry. Telling you.
Totally. Yeah, diplomat was one of the things for me too, and I thought, man, that kind of fits with, the whole thing I feel about, just like we were talking over dinner that night, Lauren, along with Dan, we were talking about this whole subject, and it was like, is it better to win the debate or keep the friendship or something along those lines, like, or is the person's feelings more important than you being right, or is you being right more important? It's like, no, the feelings are more important.
All of us would say the relationship or the feelings are more important because all of us at the table that night were intuitive feelers. Everyone else.
Yeah, and that totally.
That's the NF.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Now, what was your again? You were Allison?
Oh, yeah. You can call me Al. I don't care what you call me. I'm at ENFJ. I'm at ENFJ, and that's like the protagonist, the kind of leader, the one who will get up there and be like, this is how it is. I was like, that's kind of happening.
But that was like another lesson I learned, and I brought this up in that video of mine, that like how, we all mesh together to create a more stronger unit as a whole, because we all have our strong points and things that others do better, and it's like, I don't know, we're just stronger as a group, and I think that's why we need to get together more like we did, and even on a larger scale around the country or whatever. So a lot of our love tribe, or love vibe tribe, someone called it, I thought that was an excellent name, could start getting together and getting to know each other. Even if, people just organize groups in their own city, I think that would be cool. Even if it's just a small get-together once a month or something. I know the mega churches will do that. They'll break off into cell groups to where like just handfuls of people get together. I think it's just nice to actually meet people in real life,
Yeah, for sure.
So Allison, people want to know what the hell that ball is in your hand.
Oh, this thing.
She's multitasking.
This thing is like 20. This thing is like 10 fucking pounds. Sorry. This thing is like 10 pounds. It's so heavy. And a client sent me this, and it's granite. And he was like, "This is a world I made for you." And him and his wife came in for a session, and he made this and sent it to me in the mail. And it's so heavy. And I'm doing this because I'm so fidgety on camera that I'm trying to weigh myself down with this. I actually had this either in your interview, Dan, or another interview, I think with Shane or somebody, in one of my first interviews with you guys. And I was like, let me hold on to this thing so it'll weigh me down. But yeah, it's a big granite planet. He was like, this is planet Allison. I was like, that's nice.
So it's like a paperweight. It's an Allison weight.
I won't let my daughter hold it because I'm like, you drop that on your foot is done. Your foot is done. That thing is just smithereens, smashed to smithereens. So anyway, yeah, I'm tossing.
Oh, speaking of things that I had a guy named Robert at the conference give me this thing. Check this out.
Wow.
It's the heart chakra.
That's beautiful.
It's stained glass. You hang it in front of the window, and so yeah, I just wanted to share that and thank
what a gift
publicly because I was in awe. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is so awesome.
That is so beautiful. Wow.
So much appreciative. Thank you, Robert, for that. Yeah, for a second I was wondering because I'm like walking into the conference. He goes, "I got something for you in my car. Do you have time?" I'm like halfway to the car, and I'm like, "Is this smart? I don't know. I don't know. The government sent this guy to wipe me out or something." I was like, "Damn, I'm not afraid of it." So
see, every girl knows not to follow that.
Right. Yeah, be like, no thanks, I'm good.
I didn't let him get behind me or anything. He wasn't going to club me and put me in the trunk or nothing. I knew that much.
But wow, Robert has skill.
Yeah, he really does. That's awesome, Robert. But I just thought of something, because speaking of what you just said, Shane, about is he government or something. What did you guys think about Tom Dongo saying that there was at least however many government people in the spectators at the conference or extraterrestrials? What were y'all's thoughts on that?
Oh, I immediately
was like, where are they? I want to introduce me.
I immediately pinned the couple in front of us. I nudged Kerry. I'm like, these two right here are clearly not a married couple. They're totally agents, dude. You remember that, Kerry? Are you frozen,
Which
Kerry?
one?
Or are you just...
Carrie, are you meditating? Oh my God. He's too still. He's too still.
All right, I don't want to ruin your Zen, but we'll come back to you later when you're back from Nirvana there.
We actually, Cole and Mitch, we were all talking about the government agents that were in the audience. Absolutely. And I didn't even watch none of us watched Tom Dongo's thing.
Oh, tell me about that conversation then, Allison.
Yeah, let's hear about it. That's exciting.
Let's hear it.
Did you see that one? Yeah, and I saw this one. And then we were all like sharing information, and then we would get like messages from those people, random messages. And it was like, how do they know certain things? Yeah, we got reached out. So it was really interesting. Yeah.
Like, how did you know who they were?
Like, I didn't even give these people my phone number, nothing, and they were texting me. And my number is unlisted now. It has been for a long time. So it was just really.
What were they testing?
Wanting to meet up some more and by ourselves and stuff. And it was, there were certainly people there who were who were kind of plants, to get information.
Do you think? Are you thinking white hat guys or black hat?
Yeah. I don't know. Honestly, they just had a different vibe about them. They weren't there for the same reasons everybody else was there, and it was to get information. Obviously, I don't know what they were going to do with it, but it was just really interesting.
I was looking for people not joining in with the Ho'oponopono thing. I love you, thank you, forgive me, I love you, the whole, see if anybody, I'm like, are they able to join in if they're, of the negative side or, so I saw everybody seemed to be participating, so I don't know. Who knows?
That's pretty interesting. Again, Shane, you're supposed to have your eyes closed during that stuff.
I was filming. It was so funny. At one point, I held my phone up to record something, and I didn't turn the volume off, and it's like doo-doo-doo-doo, like real loud, while I'm holding it up as loud as it could be. It wasn't like I was sitting on it. It was like I guess I'm being used as a reminder for people to turn their phones down. Great.
Oh, yeah, that's funny.
Meditation like that they were doing, and then I kept my eyes closed, and then they were talking about reaching up, and then Kerry said he opened his eyes and saw everybody in the audience with their hands up. I was like, I didn't know we were supposed to put our hands up.
But the singing bowl meditation?
Yeah, I think that was it. Yep.
Oh, I don't remember.
Yeah, did you miss that too? Man, I missed a lot of little things like that because I was always
That
late
was a
back.
good one, because I was talking to Kerry, and it's in my video too, that I could see the white aura around M and Miss M. It was like crazy because my eyes just kind of like on focus, and then it was like, what is that? And I was like, my eyes are just seeing something, and it's like, no, there was something going on.
I did too. I saw it too, for sure.
It's funny because a couple of the ladies that were sitting next to me the night that we went out on that rock, who did you, Peter's friend, what was his name again?
Okanim.
He was, you know, doing his light language thing, and the ladies were like, do you see, like, there's like a light being that's much taller than him that's like moving with him while he's walking around? And, you know, I tried to take a picture of it. Yeah, I took a picture, and it looks like a smear of a light. It didn't look like a full being, but it looked like I might have caught an orb in there. It was just so dark I didn't share it because it's, you know, and then my battery ran down. But I just wonder how much was captured that night, you know, that was something.
Well, I'll tell you what, we didn't have the contact that we wanted, and like Kerry said on Dan's video, we got contact with each other, and that's really what it was about. But they were our galactic family was definitely there with us on that rock that night. So, I mean, I know what I saw. I'm sure other people saw things. They were there. They were hanging out. They were watching us. So.
Yeah. Do you think that maybe we got something happened to us and like we got put back with our memories wiped?
Well, I remember you and I talked about it, and I think Teresa too. That all of us felt like for like a 4-hour chunk, we didn't dream, or we didn't remember our dreams, and we woke up suddenly. That happened to me
that same night. Yeah.
So I definitely think that we went somewhere.
I was in bliss, laying there on the rock and real quiet and just staring up at the. I totally could have been taken away and put right back, and I don't think I would have known.
Me neither, man. I was blissed the heck out. Pew!
I was just really wanting it to, you know, I was in one of those states where I'm like, you know what, I'm going to be thinking back on this, and it's totally like one of those times when you can take it for granted if you're not in the moment and really sucking it all up, you know, and like really enjoying all of us being together there in that very moment. And I didn't even want it to end, you know, and I was like, I'm just going to stay here until someone else says they want to leave. And I don't care if I ever get checked into my hotel, because that was the night I was supposed to get checked in for the first time. And I knew I'd have to drive all the way, you know, to Flagstaff, but I was like, I don't even care. I'm just going to enjoy it while I'm here, and it was awesome. I'm glad we stayed for as long as we did. I can't even tell you how long we stayed or if we missed any time, because I wasn't watching time. My phone battery, it ran down, so... Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I'm glad we stayed the extra day, because originally when I was looking at booking all that stuff, I was like, oh, I'll probably leave on that Monday or whatever. But yeah, the extra day, we needed it for sure.
Yeah, and the way that came about, at least for me, was when Allison and I were planning, and she was like, oh, I'm leaving on Monday. So I was looking at flights to leave on Monday, and every flight had me coming in at the wee hours of the morning on Tuesday. So I was like, well, that would just be a huge waste of a day. So I'll just stay Monday and then spend the day traveling on Tuesday. And I also felt like, even way back then, I was like, something important's going to happen on Monday. I don't know what it is. Obviously, Allison's not going to be present for it, but I was, at that time, I didn't know anybody else was going. Nobody else had planned to go yet, and I was going to be by myself, or at least I thought that I was going to be.
Yeah, you made that statement at the beginning of like June or something. That exact statement.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, because I was like, girl, I might be there by myself, but something important's going down on that Monday, and I got to be there for it. Yeah, so something very magical did happen on Monday, so super stoked. We all got the extra day together.
That's so cool.
Let's see. I was just sending an email to Kerry for him to join back in. He says something happened with his internet, so he's trying to get back in. But yeah, I was going to just bring him up because he was really the force that helped bring us all together to do the whole Grand Canyon thing. And because I was going to leave out Monday, I'm like, I guess I can just head out. And you know, and he talked about doing, you know, four-wheelers in the rain and stuff. I'm like, I don't really want to. I had checked out. I knew I'd be muddy. I don't want to, you know, drive.
I was down for the four-wheelers when it was dry out. I don't know about the mud.
Oh, yeah. Same here, yeah. So,
they had those really fun four-wheelers, too. Those low and spider-looking ones. Oh, God.
Dune buggy.
So fun. Yeah.
It would have been fun. If it was dry, I would have been all for it, you know. But just,
yeah.
I didn't have a hotel at that point. I was going to have to check out and then, like, drive all the way back to Tulsa with, you know, I would be dry by the time I got here, all red rock and mud all over me. But
you'd be well grounded.
Oh, totally. Well, it's already been an hour. Does anybody have any announcements of anything you got coming up you want to talk about or anything?
I got, well,
back to work.
I'll say this. I got an interesting show coming up probably in, let's see, it wouldn't be this weekend, next weekend. I don't want to say too much about it because I want to make sure it happens. But let me just say that there's a kind of an insider coming forward.
Ooh. Did they contact you then?
Yeah, I've been in contact with him for almost 8 months, and he's finally deciding to go for it. So.
Oh my God, that's huge. Do you think you'll have it uploaded like in a couple weeks or like really soon?
It'll be, yeah, I'm going to interview him on like a Wednesday, and it'll be uploaded on the 20th, I think. So
like a week and a half to do your magic?
Well, it'll be only like 3 days to do the magic. But
okay.
Yeah, just look for that. I hope it all goes through well, because he was really on the fence about coming forward. And I said, well, you can either do it or not, but I think this kind of needs to be said. So looks like he's going to go for it.
Do you have a certain subject matter that you know of? Like that's going to be...
I don't want to say too much right now.
You better send me an email in case you disappear. I'm going to be like, what was that video going to be about?
I know, right?
Wow, Dan.
I might be a targeted individual after this.
Yeah. Yeah.
Fun.
That is exciting, Dan. Good.
Very exciting.
I will tune in, Tokyo.
Yeah, and I do have links to everyone's YouTube channel down below in the description box. Do you have a channel too, Teresa? That you want to
No, I don't.
Okay.
No, none of that.
Okay, yeah, Kerry's is just...
none of that.
Kerry's just getting started with his too, so it's real small, but he says he's going to start putting out videos, so you can check it out and wait for that. He's got great energy. I'm sure you guys can
Kerry's
tell it
the shit.
I think I'm gonna start back with hypnosis again. I had expected something to happen in Sedona that would like really shift my hypnosis practice and like just interject like some new energy into it. So I'm not really. It's gonna be different. It's different than what I've been doing, but I feel it coming, especially since we all want to hang out. I have to manifest the funds for flights and stuff now. So that's one reason. No, but I definitely feel the call, and I actually manifested an office like 2 days after I said I was going on hiatus.
Wow.
So I knew that I was coming back. The office is waiting for me, just like whenever I'm ready. But Kerry and I are talking about doing a BQH session and recording that. So I don't know if he would want to share it, but that could be pretty fun to kind of come back to hypnosis with a hypnosis session with Kerry online. So if anybody's watching this and is interested in seeing that, then stay tuned.
Yay!
How that's gonna play out then.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's definitely on my list to get with you too, Lauren. So hopefully we can do that soon.
Yeah, awesome.
So cool.
So I would love to know what the people in the chat would think about if at some point we all had our own conference.
That would be interesting.
That would be fun.
As long as me and Dan don't have to speak, I think that's fine.
Well, we gotta be the host, I guess.
You're the speakers.
Yeah, you guys can interview people.
And then, you know, we'll find people to speak. There's all kinds of interesting people doing all kinds of interesting work out there.
Yeah.
That are deserving of a platform. And I'm a planner, man, and Teresa is a planner too. So
I can't imagine a venue being very cheap to rent out, though, to do that.
Don't do that, Dan.
We were already doing the numbers. I was already doing the numbers as soon as we walked in there.
The cool thing about Shane and Dan is you guys have interviewed so many people, so you already know who the talent would be. That's so cool. You already have probably a running list going.
I have a feeling
we
a
could
lot of it.
manifest a venue.
Oh, totally. I have a feeling a lot of it would be like it was that night out on the Rock, where everybody's just sort of like moving around and shuffling from like little group of people talking to little group of people talking, and just, you know, I don't know. Even like before speakers a few times, it was hard to get people to just sit down because people were just so hungry to have time with other people and not just sit there and have to listen to one person the whole time. You know?
Yeah. People need to connect with each other. That's the most important thing about these conferences is that connection with each other. Yeah.
Right. I can definitely hook up the stream and stuff. So.
Okay, so
sorry, Dan.
Here's my proposal.
It's all yours.
My proposal is that, like, anybody who's listening to this, if you think that's a good idea, put a comment on this video or put it in the chat, and who knows what we can co-create next. I mean, supposedly all of this Sedona stuff started with just me and Allison wanting to get together. So when you talk about ideas, when you throw them around, whether they're realistic or not, you start creating. And that's what we're trying to do today. Today's the new moon today, you guys. So let's talk about it, okay?
Yeah. Well, we could do
it.
Austin, New Year's Eve, mini conference.
Yeah, or just maybe do a meetup for it. Like
Yes, a meetup.
Yeah.
Yeah, we need to go somewhere with good Wi-Fi this next time. That way people that aren't able to be there, I could at least stream for them, because I felt like I was leaving all these people. I'm like, sorry, my internet sucks on my phone, you know. But
I say one thing really quick? I did receive the presentation recording from, like, my portion of the presentation recording from Joe Anthony, who does all the sound stuff for the conference. So I'm posting the audio for that on my YouTube channel any day now. And then the video for that's on Patreon. So that was so much fun. It was to me, it was so much fun. I never got any comments I only got comments from like 2 different people, whether they liked my presentation, but I don't fucking care. I had so much fun up there on stage, like just laughing and being a dork. It was great.
You did an excellent job. Yeah, I don't know if I can get to tell you.
See how I had to work for this. I had to like put that out there. Say, give me some feedback. No, it was awesome. It was fun.
Yes.
I said it in my video about you. I said you did it. You know, of course you did a great job. I mean, nobody expected anything different. So.
Yeah.
So touching back, Allison, you said you envisioned the conference and you were wearing that shirt, and so how did that? How long ago did you envision that?
So it was like 3 weeks ago, 3 weeks before the conference. I was like, all of a sudden, I'm like, shoot, I have nothing to wear. What do I wear? Do I wear something nice? Do I wear something casual? I have no idea what to wear. And then all of a sudden, this picture came into my mind of just me wearing like jeans and this black shirt, and it was like a mock turtleneck shirt, and I was like, that looks cute. In my head, I was like, that looks cute. Got to get that shirt. Don't have that. And then I was actually wearing this shirt the day of the conference. And when I got up there, the sound guy said, that's not going to work if you want that little clip-on mic, because it would sit too low. We need it to sit higher. And I look over to my left, and there's Kerry Walker wearing this little black mock turtleneck shirt. And I was all, Kerry, can I borrow your shirt? And because it would put the microphone up here. And so I put on her shirt, and I was like, I looked in the mirror and I was like, oh, nailed it. Just nailed it. Holy crap. That's exactly the outfit that I was talking about. It was so uncanny. It was so weird.
God.
So yeah, it was so strange.
Big deja vu moment.
Like that. Yeah, very much so. I was like, that is so odd. That is the oddest thing. Yeah. Stuff you never even plan, you know? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's wild.
Anyway.
I mean, so it's like sometimes we can be psychic and we just don't even understand. It was like that whole dream thing. You don't know until after it happened. You're like, oh my gosh, I really did get a glimpse of what was going on, you know?
Exactly.
I don't know if I could ever have the confidence that, you know, how psychics do. They're like, well, I see this and this. I don't know if I could ever tell anybody what I see until after I see it happen. I'm like, oh, I saw that. I should have said something. You know?
Yeah.
I always get images in my mind, and half of them don't come true. So
you are unbiased and on the fence. So I think you would have to pick a side, man.
Someday you got to get off that fence.
It's comfy up here.
Man.
All right, well, I look forward to the next time getting together with you and many, many more.
Yay.
So much
That
fun.
was fun. It's so fun to see you guys.
Yeah.
All right. Peace out, everyone.
Peace out, everyone. Lots of love and light.
Okay. Love you
Yeah,
guys.
peace.
Yeah,
Love you guys.
Bye-bye. Checking out.
Bye.
Bye, Kerry.
Bye, Kerry.
Bye, Kerry.
Bye, Dan.
If you'd like to support the work I do, go to paypal.me/UOTF. Thanks.